don't know about you, but I just really like snooping at other people's collections and seeing what they have. And I really like hearing the numbers for like their inventory as well. So I just really like December and January where you get all these people giving their inventory and collections and declutters and end of the year things. As if this video wasn't a train wreck enough, just wait, you'll see. I forgot to wear mascara. I just like forgot it. In case if you thought you were going crazy, you're not. I am. Let's get straight into my inventory, and I'm just gonna give you a bit of a warning. If you were like excited to see numbers drop. Also, I would like to apologize if you think this lighting's weird. It's because it is. It's like the sun is about to set, so I'm running out of daylight. So if I sound like I'm rushing, I probably am. Now the first category I actually made significant changes in. At the beginning of the year, I had 4 primers, and then 6 months in, I got down to 1, and now I have 0, and I'm very happy about that because I find my skin's pretty normal, leaning dry, so I don't need any primers. At least I found I'm fine without them. Like, they haven't made that much of a difference. Now, the next category was a bit of a roller coaster. I started off with 4, I got down to 1, and then now I have 5, and let me explain. Because I haven't filmed my monthly beauty tracker for December, I haven't told you guys that I did end up buying things. I know I'm on a no-buy. I didn't run out of concealer, but what I realized is I ordered 2 concealers, and they were both too dark and peachy for me. And I tried to make it work. It looked bad. It just didn't look right. I didn't know how to make it work without like putting blush on my neck. And I was like, I need something to change. So I did buy 2 NYX Born to Glow concealers so I could mix them. It's not ideal, but you know, I gotta make things work. And I do have a 5th one because my stepmom gave me this like makeup kit that had some like color correctors in it, and I just ended up mixing them, and I'm counting it as 1 because there's so little in those pans. The next category isn't that eventful, but I started with 2 powders this year. Halfway through, I had 2. One of them was different because I decluttered one, and then my mom decluttered one to me, and now I'm down to 1. I don't love that powder. I'm going to use up that powder because I have it and I might as well. Now for bronzers and contours, I had 3 at the beginning of this year, even though in the picture it has 4 because I ended up finishing one on New Year's Eve, so that didn't count. And then I got down to 1, and I have a different one. That bronzer was in that kit that my stepmom gave me, and I frankened it with several different eyeshadows to make a bronzer that fit my skin tone better. I'm actually wearing it today. I don't know how you can see it because the lighting is dark. So for blushes, it is an interesting ride. I started out with 5, then halfway through I had 8, but some were decluttered and then some were bought, and then now I have 8. And they're not all the same. One of them is like a Franken, one of them was again from that little makeup kit, and then the rest I've had for a bit. So I'm fine with 8. There are several blushes that I'm like side-eyeing, like, hey, how you doing? But I'm on a no-buy, so I'm kind of giving myself time to figure out what I want. I don't think I want any more than 10 blushes at a time in my life because blushes take a long time. If you're here, you probably are into Project Panning, and you know, blushes are no joke. Now, highlighters is a tragic one, truly. I started off with 1, and that was before I counted 2 eyeshadows that I only ever use as highlighters. I counted them as eyeshadows until later I realized I should just count them as highlighters because that's what I use them as. Anyways, I had 4, I believe, 6 months into the year, and that's because one of them I now count as an eyeshadow because I realized I don't like it as a highlighter. It's convoluted, I'm sorry. I'm confusing, so it only makes sense how my inventory is. And now I'm down to 1 because I ended up buying 2. One of them I didn't like on my cheeks. It was just too sparkly and intense, so I'm actually wearing it as an eyeshadow. It's a really pretty eyeshadow that I somehow don't have that color in an eyeshadow, and it's such a basic color. But I only have 1 highlighter because one of those eyeshadows I used up. One of them I put back into the eyeshadow category, and one of them, while I was taking these pictures, it might be in some of these, I'm not sure, but it fell on the floor and shattered and I lost it and it made me so sad. I said no so dramatically and too many times for like powder in a pan that shattered, but it was really sad. I was like, this is not how I wanted this to go. I wanted to say goodbye and like the ceremonious taking months to pan you. You're so beautiful. I loved you. And now you're gone and you were part of an eyeshadow palette that I wouldn't rebuy just for one shade. Yeah. It's sad, but you know, I want to buy more highlighters. I might make some kind of exception for my no-buy because I have one and I want a variety of colors, but my no-buy is more about money and not about numbers, and so that's what makes it tricky. Maybe I'll ask for highlighters for my birthday. I don't know, but that was really sad. I do really like the one I have, but I would like to have more than one for color variety's sake. Now, setting sprays, nothing has changed in the past 6 months, but I started off with one, then I used one up halfway through, and I still have 0. I find that I don't need setting sprays. They don't make much of a difference in my life, and I don't miss them when I don't have it. So I'm just gonna skip the steps, save the money, save the time, save the space, all that jazz. This one is uninteresting to most, but I actually did end up going up in one. Eyeshadow primers, I had one, it was the Milani one, really do like it. Still had that one halfway through the year. I still have it, but I did buy the NYX Glitter Primer, which I'm actually using today, and I basically made it a habit to use it every day because I figure if I save it for special occasions, what's the point? It has 10 mils of product, I'll probably never go through it, like ever go through it, so I might as well use it every day to make all the shimmers I have that much more pretty and sparkly. Now this one is interesting. So for large eyeshadow palettes, I started off with 5, but I did count a bunch of depotted ones in a palette as like one palette. That was before I started counting my singles individually in terms of like depotted ones and palettes, so the numbers are a bit hazy through there. Halfway through the year I had 6. Again, the numbers kind of shifted because of the way I started counting eyeshadow single pans in my collection, and now I have 10. So I'm not mad, honestly. I mean, I had a break between no-buys and I bought like 3 or 4 palettes, and I am happy with them. I just want to get use out of them now, but I think they do offer a really good variety that I was lacking, and I think they bring me joy. So I'm not mad at having 10. I don't know what limit I want. I don't think I'd ever want more than like 15 just because I get overwhelmed easily. As for mini eyeshadow palettes, I started the year with 2. I ended up finishing them throughout the year, but halfway through the year I had 3 because I bought one, and because I finished 2 and then I bought 2, now I still have 2, and I'm fine with that. I think they're really cute and handy for travel, although the e.l.f. one has a fragile shade I really should just repress, and I don't know why I haven't. But it's not like I need anything for travel anytime soon because I can't remember the last time I was on a plane. It wasn't this year. Now, eyeshadow singles, if you're wondering, my inventory is listed here. By the way, for the first time, I actually formatted my inventory onto an Excel spreadsheet, and I don't know why I hadn't done that earlier. I was just too lazy. I was like, how do I want to format it? I don't know. And oh my gosh, this is so much better than paper. But at the beginning of the year, again, because of how I counted singles, I only had 3. And because of the way I switched how I counted things, 6 months in, I had 19. And now I have 48, but let me explain. Part of that set my stepmom gave me, it's technically a palette, but for some reason in my mind, I don't view it as a palette. I viewed it as a palette of singles that I could use to either pan or franken, and that's what I've done. I frankened it to use as a contour, as a bronzer, as a brow product, in different eyeshadows. I frankened the heck out of that palette, and I decluttered some things as well. I made a video a couple days ago about that process, if you're curious, except I did make a contour in between that time because I ended up just deciding randomly. But that's why I have such a high number of singles, and they are not very big pans, so I'm very hopeful that I'll be able to drop that number very significantly in this next year. 48 singles sounds insane to me, but like seeing the actual pans, they're so tiny. So I'm really hopeful that I'll be able to make some progress there. There is a category that I did add halfway through the year to further just analyze the numbers that I have, and that is total eyeshadow pans. 6 months ago, I had 102, and my goal was to have it underneath 150, and I was like, that'll be easy, that should not be a problem. I did not take into account getting gifted who knows how many eyeshadow pans that were in that little set my stepmom gave me. And so now I have 176. Good job, Anna. You did great. You did great, sweetie. But it's not that bad because I plan on panning and not buying. For mascaras, I had 2 at the beginning of the year, then I had 3, and then 2 of those I realized sucked, and then I decluttered them. Now I have 1. That is my goal, just to have 1. At most 2, in case if I have 1 as a backup at the time.
Oh my gosh, it's getting so dark. I have to speed up.
For brow products, I started off with 2 powders, then I had 1 powder. Now I have 1 powder plus a brow gel, so I have 2 brow products. That's fine by me. I actually really like the brow gel, and I discovered that I like brow gel, so maybe I'll always have 2. I don't know. As for tinted lip balms, I started the year with 3. Halfway through I had 0, and now I have 3 again. And I think 3 is a good number for me. I would like different ones now. I don't know, maybe I'll be fine with 5.
No, I'm just like really panicking because I'm running out of daylight. Oh my gosh.
Lip liners! Lip liners, I had 1. 6 months in I had 0. Now I have 1 again, and I'm fine with that. Lipsticks, I had 4. All the way up until now I have 6, and I honestly would be fine with growing that category. Not right now, obviously. It is getting so dark in this video, I am panicking. Lip gloss, I had 5, then I had 3, and now I have 4, and I think 4 is a good number for me. In terms of total, I have to do something with the lighting. This is atrocious. You can't even see me. Okay, so I am back with lighting. I think it's okay. Let me know if it sucks. This is chaotic. This is so chaotic. Let's get down to business to defeat, no, Anna, stop being possessed by Mulan. Did they send me daughters when I asked for signs? I don't know exactly what I was saying before, but totals, am I right? I'm falling apart. So, as for totals, January 2020, I had 48 items in my collection, and then as of 6 months ago, I had 57 items. As of now, I have 95 items. However, there is a caveat because that is counting every single eyeshadow pan counted in the singles category as an individual product. I also have a category that counts my inventory without my eyeshadow singles. I don't even count them as one, I just like forget about them for a moment. And comparing that, 6 months ago, that means I had 38 items, and now I have 47 items. So it's still under 50 if you don't count my singles, so like, that's not too shabby. So, along with all those totals, there's also a separate little total category number thing going on, and that is my cruelty-free status. And oh boy, hasn't that been a ride, because every time I kind of get close to like 100% cruelty-free, there's another brand that's like, oh, we did something sneaky and shady and now you can't trust us. And I'm like, thanks, that's fantastic. Let's start with the total of non-cruelty-free products that I have in my collection, starting with a year ago, I had 17 items, and some of those were palettes, and some of those palettes I finished up, and I was pretty proud of that. Anyways. And then 6 months ago, I had 27. You might be curious why that number went up. First off, counting singles individually. Second off, Physicians Formula being shady. Woo! And the reason it went up even more this year, currently I have 47, is because of the palette that my stepmom gave me and counting every single shadow that I kept from that palette. Going on to my percentage of products in my collection that are not cruelty-free. 12 months ago, that was 35.42%. 6 months ago, that was 47.37%. Currently, it is 49.47%. Yay for going up. And that's because of the palette she gave me, which I'm still grateful for. But that's still like, oh, we love going backwards. That's kind of 2020, you know? Just everything seems like a step back. We're like, it's getting worse. That's what I wanted. Perfect. That's exactly what I was hoping for. How did you know? But I thought it was important to take into account not counting my single eyeshadows in that number. 6 months ago, that was 31.58%. now it is 17.02%. So if I don't count all of the eyeshadow singles I have, only 17% of my collection is not cruelty free. And I feel like that is something to celebrate because that's a big difference. While the numbers seem to be going up, that's only in like the eyeshadow category, which I plan on making that drop next year. But I feel like it's not as bad as it seems. Or maybe I just have to keep telling myself that to like stay sane. I don't know. But that is it. That is my whole video. I'm sorry it was such a train wreck. Oh my gosh. I thought I could like finish filming this before the sun went down. I was so wrong. I'm not that fast. I'm not that good at being concise. Props to like all you YouTubers out there who somehow film a video without like jump cuts. I have to do that because I ramble, and if I didn't, I would have to upload hour-long videos, which take forever to upload, so like I'm not doing that. So I have to edit the crap out of everything, or else it'll take forever just for you to watch it, and then no one will want to watch it because I wouldn't want to watch that, and then that's not fun for anybody. So, see, I just rambled again. I don't know what... I'm just gonna say goodbye. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this absolute mess of a video. If you have made an inventory and like made a video about it, I would love to see it. So like, let me know in the comments. But yeah, that's it. Have a great day. Goodbye.